Percentiles. We are going to calculate percentiles. Now remember that percent means out of 100. So when you talk about percentiles, each percentile is 1/100th of your data set. Now the median is the halfway point. So if this is all of your data and the median is in the middle, right, that's the 50th percentile. And quartiles split things into 4 even pieces. So if you think about having it split in half at 50%, if this is 0 and 50 and you cut that in half, you're now at 25th. And if you take 50 and 100 and cut it in half, you're at 75th. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts. We call these quartiles. Okay? Now this is what we're going to find. We're going to find the 25th, 50th, and 75th percent by hand because we can do so with the concept of median, because median is the middle. But for everything else, you can use Excel. So you can find like the 13th percentile or the 85th percentile by using Excel. So that is something you may want to look into later in your life. Okay, so when you're looking at this data set, and we have here this data set, we want to find the 25th, 50th, and 75th percentiles. Well, the first thing you got to do is you got to split it in half. Because when you split it in half, that is the median, the 50th percentile. So think back to how you find the median. Well, you take one off the top and the bottom, right? We're finding the middle. So we work our way into the middle. And I see that I have one number, 55 exactly. So the 50th percentile is 55. Now, you'll notice when you do that, you now have 4 numbers in the front, 4 numbers in the back. Before you move on to the 25th and the 75th, make sure that you have an even number on each side. When I say even number, I mean they match. They don't have to be like 4 or 6, like they could be 5, but you have the same number of data points on each side of your median. So now, to find my 25th percentile is the halfway point between 0 and 50. So I have to find the median of these data points. Well, if I go to the middle, I have 2 numbers in the middle. So my median is going to be the midpoint of that. Well, 22 plus 34 is 56. 56 divided by 2 is 28. So my 25th percentile is at 28. And I just want to clean this up just a little bit because I got a point to make here later. And then on the right side, same concept. Work your way in. You have 2 numbers. 63 plus 76 is 139. Divide by 2 and I have 69.5. So this point, 69.5, is my 75th percentile. Now, when you do that, and I put these vertical lines in for a reason, look at what I have. 2 numbers in front of the line, 2 numbers between these 2, 2 numbers between these 2 lines, and then 2 numbers on the right. That should always work, that you will have the same number of data points in between all of these vertical lines. I use that as a quick check to make sure I'm correct, because I should have the same number of data points between each one. Let's do another example. So I have 4, 7, 12, 22, 34, 46, 55, 58, 63, 75. We got to start with the midpoint, right? You start with the median. So smallest, biggest. You work your way in. Got to find that midpoint. Now you will see that I have 2 numbers here. So I will split the difference. 34 plus 46 is 80. 80 divided by 2 is 40. So my 50th percentile is 40. Now, when I erase my markings here, you'll notice that this midpoint here, it's between 34 and 46. So those numbers are used. 34 is part of the front, 46 is part of the back side. So now when I go to find my median of the first half, cut up, boom, boom, you see that I just have 12. 12 is the only number, so it cuts right through. My 25th percentile is 12. Clean it up to make it pretty. Okay. On the right side, get rid of. I have 1 number. It cuts right through 58. So my 75th percentile is 58. Okay, I hit a button. Sorry about that. Clean that up. And again, here's my trick. 2 numbers in the front, 2 numbers between, 2 numbers between, 2 numbers on the right. So another way to look at this whole 75th percentile, let me just focus on that one. So my 75th percentile is 58. That means 75% of my data is less than 58. Because 75% of my data is here. And that makes sense. Each one of these chunks is 25%. So 75% falls before 58. All right, let's do another one. We have these ages of people with their first heart attack. So again, our first step is to find the median. So do that. Find the median. Work your way in. 62. Okay, so here's my 50th percentile. And it cuts right through. If it cuts right through, then I'm done using it. I don't get to use that one again. Now when I'm in the front, cut, 52. Cuts right through. So this is the 25th percentile. I don't know what I was writing. This is the 50th. So that's 62. This one is 52. And on the right, cut. My 75th percentile is 66. So again, using the little method that I talked about earlier, two numbers. That allows me to know that I have split my data evenly into 4 different points. Okay, I hope you're understanding where I'm coming with this. And hopefully you noticed that in all 3 of those first examples, our data was in order least to greatest. Well, in this example, it's not. So before you can even really worry about the data, you have to put it in order least to greatest. So 54, 65, 68, 70, 71, 75, 76, 80, 83, oh gosh, 87, I'm out of room, 92, 98, that's a 2. So now when you find the median, right, you work your way in, I end up with between these 2 pieces. So 75.5 is my 50th percentile. Work your way in. We ended up with these 2 numbers in the middle, which is why I got 75.5. Now, when you do the front half, we're looking at these pieces of data. Work your way to the middle, and you come up with 2 numbers, which means right between 69 is my 25th percentile. 25% of my data falls in front of 70. Oops. I forgot that those were. Okay. Then on my right side, over here, it falls between 83 and 87, so 85 is my 75th percentile. And you can see, hopefully, 3 numbers, 3 numbers, 3 numbers, 3 numbers, because they are split evenly into 4 equal parts. So the key with percentiles is finding the median of each chunk. You find the median of the overall data. Once you split it in half, then you find the median of the front side and the median of the second side. When you get done, if you don't have the same number of data points in each section, then you've either taken out a number or you've jacked something up, because it should always work like that.